So this is episode 26 of Oluswole, the podcast on a budget. I'm excited to welcome our guest. He's our president, a former track and field star, and one of the most notable people on this campus. Toyosi, was good.
What's up, Timmy? Thanks for having me on the podcast. I like the track and field star. No, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no worries, man. How you been?
Honestly, I've been good. I think this semester has been a lot of ups and a lot of downs. But I think as of today, I'm doing good, well rested, very excited to go home tonight to see my family for Thanksgiving. And honestly, yeah, doing well.
It's good to hear. I mean, for people who don't know, Toyosi's our class president. So he's also in MNT, which is a management technology program on campus, which is like really rigorous. And this dude is literally everywhere. And it's like, I just want to ask you, how do you manage to like be everywhere and like do everything at the same time?
So this is a secret I found out last year, right? So last year, what people don't know, I had a twin, right? But this year, now I found out to develop triplets, so that I can be in 3 places at once. I don't know. I think I try to try to like schedule my day out around the clock, so that way I have a good balance between like when I need to be rigorous and when I need to be like serious. I also like really lean on my friend groups, whether if we're studying together, make sure we're going through similar experiences. I try to plan a lot beforehand. Of course, I don't necessarily follow my plans all the time, but try to do a lot of planning beforehand, whether it be the semester before, for next semester, or in the summer, for like course planning and stuff. So a lot of things that like would take up time, like figuring out what course you're going to take, like already like figure out ahead of time. Besides that, I don't know. God just gave me a high energy personality, and I try to use all the energy he gives me, all the seconds in the day he gives me. So, yeah.
Damn, that's a great answer, man. Respect that. Yeah, because I'm a single degree student, and I'm just like, how does everyone know who Toyosi is? Like, how does he just like appear like everywhere I am on campus? Like, it's like he can teleport or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. So
yeah. In the lab right now.
I'm in the lab right now.
Yeah. Like, you're part of the class board because you're the president. What are things that like you'd like to get done in the next semester?
Great question. I think some things I'd like to get done next semester is to kind of like complete like the recovery of the sophomore class. I think as sophomores, like we've kind of gotten the short end of the stick in terms of like COVID and life, like compared to any other class. You look at the junior class, COVID hit their freshman year of high school. So freshman year of college. Yeah. But they still got most of your first fall semester that like they're transitioning into college, and they're readjusting well. Look at the freshman class; they got the majority of their senior year still, like the majority of the second half of their senior year still in person, and now they have a basically in person freshman college experience. I think our class missed out on both of them, and one of the things I wanted to accomplish in the spring to kind of work on that. So, finding more ways for our board to tap into Penn resources to make those things happen, whether it be trying to understand what the study abroad looked like for our class and how people, and getting people information to do that, or whether it be like just simple things like throwing fun events that our class enjoys and keeps enjoying. And as besides school, I think one thing I want to accomplish is try to do something with some sort of local organization, whether it be like with Philadelphia schools or some other mission. Just use Classboard not just as a social platform, but a social good platform.
That's really dope. Yeah, it's like it's nice to hear that you guys have a like not humanitarian, but like a social impact focus, whilst also trying to like make the class better and do some fun stuff for them too. Are there things like what are things that you have done like in the past that you guys are particularly proud of?
I think one thing I'm personally proud of my board is our ability to work over the summer and try to help out plan the second year orientation. That's like the orientation was like, as people most say it's just a gala, but there's a lot of different events that our board was working in tandem with the NSO office and Penn Traditions on planning. And that was our first real endeavor as a board because we got elected in April. And then we kind of were just thrown into our freshman summer to try to help plan this massive event. And even though and that's always was very helpful in planning the majority of logistics. But to being able to see something come to fruition when you're occasionally like meet people in person, it's probably come so far. Besides that, another thing I'm really proud of is our quarter zip sales.
Oh yeah.
So for those that don't know, the class board typically has like a yearly merchandise sale that's like representative of their whole class. There's the freshman year, it's the Harry Potter t-shirts. Sophomore year, we have these quarter zips, and junior year, there's pea sweaters. And this is actually real huge shout out to my vice president, Charlie, because most boards try to get those done, in their spring semester. And he had the mission that he wanted to get it done fall semester. And not only do we had a huge amount of sales, it's been 4 days where we're able to distribute 90% of them.
Wow.
And I'm very proud of our board to getting those done and getting people some like good merchandise items that they can show their families for the holidays.
Yeah, and as someone who bought one of them, they're tough,
I appreciate it.
Got me feeling drippy with the quarter zip, class 1024, the badge, all that.
You know what I'm saying, twin?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's really dope. I mean, obviously you're the president. Are there things about the role that aren't really recognized or that people don't really know about that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, I mean, I say that as much as I like being in this, I think let me rephrase. There's a lot of work you can see that me and our board does in person, or it be like having small events here, course sales. There's a lot of things that we're out there, but I really just want to think the amount of work it takes behind the scenes to pull these things off. Like we have weekly meetings, and every week I'm trying to figure out how to better organize our board to make us more effective. And being able to learn from my board members about like things that worked in their organizations past and bring into our sayings. It takes a lot of effort to manage a team of 12 people that are all college students with different schedules. For example, our VP of internal, she commutes on weekends. Oh. So we have to figure out how to Zoom her in sometimes. And other people have club meetings and stuff, and trying to figure out how to adjust from being in a world where, you can just hop on a Zoom call to, we actually need to come together and plan. That takes a lot of effort on my end and my board's end overhaul. And another thing that I don't think people realize is how much effort we try to do to work with other branches of Penn administration to get some of these things done. I don't know, like even like you might see the second year gala, for example, but you don't see like us meeting in the summer with people like calling in from Egypt and Cyprus, talking to NSO office to try to help plan stuff like that. So yeah, we've just got some things in the works. I can't reveal all my cards, but just know that we're working both in front of and behind the scenes.
We appreciate that. We respect you for your service, man.
Yeah.
You guys are, a good magician doesn't show all his tricks. Yeah. So you got to keep some things on the cover.
Just cover on the DL,
Of course. Yeah, and I was kind of that kind of makes sense because I was thinking, especially at the gala, like, okay, y'all planned this, but there must be something going on behind the scenes. Like there must be a lot of calls and coordination with people who are in charge of those places. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that sounds really dope. Moving away from school for a bit, I mean, like we're having an in-person semester. You're in Philly. What are things you guys? I know you're in a suite of 4 other dudes. So like, what are some things you've been able to do like for fun and stuff like that?
Oh, correction, suite of 6 dudes. It's 6 heads. We got a big suite.
You're in a 6?
I'm in the 6.
Oh, for real? Oh, wow.
No, okay, I didn't know. But what are some things you're able to do for fun? Sometimes it's fun just going to Center City to go to some thrift stores. Even went like the other day and got some jeans like the Buffalo Exchange, and just be able to like, let's go hop in the SEPTA, go to Center City, chill out for a bit, take pics in Chinatown, drift a little bit. Of course, the roommates, they're all hilarious. So come back from like studying and being tired, and then seeing everyone else done tiring, and we're just like, you know what, Gabe, get your speaker, and we're freestyling today, and we'll just freestyle. And are we good? No, but actually, we're below mediocre. I wouldn't say we're terrible. We're below mediocre, but it's funny. It's just great to be with the guys, just make jokes, play Mario Kart, just enjoy each other's presence for a bit, and then sometimes go out. So.
Okay. Who's the best at like rapping on the spot and like freestyling?
Ooh, consistency or just like best one bar?
Consistency. Who's spitting that hot fire?
Ooh, okay. So Anthony is easiest to rap because like he like will say anything and just make it flow. So he's probably the best flow of all of us.
Okay.
Gabe, it depends on the topic. So I think Gabe's most consistent, and I'll have the best like one-liner bars, but it'll come like once every while. Like like single bar me, but like in terms like overall like freestyle, probably like Gabe or Anthony.
Okay.
So
you're one of like you're just kind of popping up every now and then.
Every now and then, like I'll like hop in and like sometimes I'll have like a bar like, oh, that's not good. Other times I'll be like, oh wait, that's like really good. So like I'm like fluctuating, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's, I mean, I live in a 6 as well, in the same building as you live, and it's just like, it goes, if I could do this every year, I probably would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really fun, like, just living with, like, that many people.
Yeah.
And you'll have your own individual rooms, so, like, you're fine on that end.
Yeah, it's not like you have to share rooms, like a hotel or something, but, like, it's great to have that many heads just always having a different dynamic depending on who's home. So.
Yeah, it's a movie for sure. And you talked about, I remember you talked. It's kind of goofy, but I remember you mentioned that you take SEPTA to Center City to like, buy stuff and stuff like that. Do you know how Lil Uzi is from Philly, right?
Yeah.
I remember there's this, one lyric he said in the song. I think it's called "Bust Me," and he said like, "She took SEPTA to my block. She said, Uzi, can you bust me?" And I heard that when I was in Philly. I was like, "Yo, that's crazy!"
That's hilarious.
Yeah, throwing it down for the 267. Yeah. Respect that.
Apparently, Lil Uzi like sometime like last semester was like riding while by Du Bois.
Oh,
I heard that. Damn. I heard people like saw him as he was like going by Du Bois. I was like, whoa. So
like with security and stuff like that. Or?
I don't know. I wasn't there. This is word of mouth. For all I know, someone could be lying to me. But
yeah,
I'm gonna stick and say Uzi was by campus sometime last semester until I die. So.
Hey, I need Uzi to pay for my college tuition. Lil Uzi, can you pay for my college tuition?
Now, that's crazy though. Shout out to him. He actually paid for
he did.
Someone's cold tuition.
Yeah, that's crazy. I need that Lil Uzi scholarship, man. Uzi, not again. But you're from transitioning away from that. You're from the DMV.
Yeah.
Howard County. Shout out Howard County.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of stuff there, but I want to talk about some of the projects you started. So you co-founded this thing called Prep Guru.
Oh, yeah.
And is it for like, my understanding is that it's like for high school students trying to enter college.
Man, you did your research. Okay. Yeah, so this was an endeavor that basically started, it was kind of a quarantine baby of an idea.
Okay.
Actually, my friend Max really approached me with it. So it should really be flipped. He's the founder. I'm the co-founder, but we just both like, and basically we wanted to start this like program where we help people like get in Iowa schools. So I feel like a lot of places, like a lot of people, at least in our possession with a lot of people that go to like schools like Penn, Columbia, where Max ends up getting to Columbia, or like at least schools like what institutions like have like a similar background where they come from like a wealthy private school. They have college counselors that have been like telling them how to prep for like college apps since they're like in 8th grade. They can get like SAT tutoring for XYZ years, and they've been like working on perfecting their ability to go to college since like out the womb or something, right? And whether it be through wealth or inequalities in education and stuff, like it feels like that kept a lot of high ranking schools like out of like reach for majority of people. And as two people that came from like public schools, like don't get me wrong, like we came from really good public schools. Like Maryland has a very strong public school system. But like as two people came from public schools and kind of had to figure out how to break out from just like going to a good school to going to the school in whatever respective domain you are. We wanted to kind of share that knowledge like with other people. So basically, we started this thing where we help people with the essay process. So basically, it's kind of like one of those like essay tutoring things you might see like on like Instagram or something. But instead of just like people sending us essay and we just like edit it and give it back to them, we want to start this thing where, well, to come to us, we'll sit down with them actually and tell them what part of the essay is good, what part is not good, why it's good, how to tell a story, and then send them on their way. Like basically, not only tell them what we liked and didn't like about the essay, but how they can improve about it and how they can tell their voice better. And we worked on that a lot last year. I don't know. We need to get re-engaged, I think, this year because, you know, as COVID's like slowing down and like more times being eaten up for our own end, but really proud of that project going forward.
Yeah, that's really dope that you guys are trying to like make it easier for these like young people from a range of backgrounds to get into colleges, because like you guys can relate to that. How do your rates compare? I'm not asking for exact numbers, but like how do your rates compare to like similar tutoring services? Like what makes you stand out?
I think it depends when we compare it to the market. If we're talking about like a full, well, I think our rates are pretty similar to other parts of the market. Well, if it's like a college counselor type program where they're teaching us like all those tricks ins and outs of how to get into college, we're significantly cheaper than those competitors. You're talking about just people who will just edit your essay and say nothing else. And just like, hey, fix this, that's it. We're about the same price, but I feel like we have better quality because we give you a more holistic approach to the editing process, where it's not just here's your essay, fix it. It's here's your essay, here's what we liked and didn't like, but it's ultimately your voice. So this is how we would suggest you to fix it. So it's about the same price for higher quality.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And I think another unique thing about you guys is that you guys have actually been through the process in recent times, you know, because a lot of these people who are offering these services are like they're experts, but they might, you know, it's been a while since they applied to college. But since you guys are not too far removed from the actual app process, then like you guys can offer a lot of invaluable feedback. So I think that's a really interesting like perspective that you guys are offering there. Turns out, you know, you're a little bit of a bilingual kind of dude. I see Spanish professional working proficiency.
This man is LinkedIn watching. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. ¿Tú hablas español?
Necesito mejorar mi habilidad para hablar español porque mi español es muy basura. I'm not good at Spanish. I put it. I was the worst student in my AP Spanish class, senior year of high school. Oh. But I was in the class though.
Hey, talk to me.
But yeah, I was definitely like the worst student in my class. Like everyone else would be like writing proficiently, speaking kind of proficiently and stuff, and I would just be there like, dang, I just do not know this language. I just don't know it. But I was just there, stuck it out, and hey, the AP test niced me, so I was able to fortunately do well on it. I do want to still actually get better at Spanish though. I've been meaning to actually like pick it up again and like actually like intentionally try to learn it. I know back in high school, I feel like I just took Spanish just to take the class, just get rid of the requirement. But I think as I'm growing older, meeting people from different places, I want to actually like learn the language. So I'm seeing what might actually make an attention to like watch stuff in Spanish, like immerse myself in Spanish, maybe go to Spain for a bit. I feel like I actually want to actually be multilingual and improve my proficiency. I don't know. Right now, it's very, very rough. I'm not gonna lie, it's very rough. Like that was really bad, but I don't know. Let's pick it back up.
Okay. Because I did Mandarin in high school, so and I was doing it like because it's one of those classes where you have to commit time to it, like every single day.
Yeah.
So I used to be able to like my proficiency at the end of high school was a lot better than what it is now because I haven't touched it in a minute. But I might take a Mandarin class at some point, but it doesn't really fit into my schedule, so I'd have to like plan it.
With Mandarin, right? They have like the voices, right, where you have to like some of the vowels, like
the tone marks.
The tonals, yeah.
Yeah, they got 4 tone marks.
Yeah,
yeah. It's very tonal. You could be saying like 2 words, and if you're slightly off,
like pronunciation is. Yeah, you need it.
Yeah, it's really important. And also, you know, linking to your entrepreneurial stuff, we we saw that you did the weekend. You started the Weekend Hear You project, and it's because of YYGS.
Yeah. So
okay.
I just shout out to my guy Ryan, who actually is coming to. He's actually at Penn now too. Like we're actually.
Wait. Is he? Sorry. Is he in Wharton?
Ryan?
Yeah.
No, he's studying. I keep forgetting he's studying biology or bioengineering.
Oh, okay.
I know he's in that space, but yeah, he actually is at Penn too with me. We met at YYGS. And basically what we saw is that kind of similar to like the inspiration to Prep Guru is that a lot of people, like people in our age at the time, high schoolers, now young college students, like are struggling with mental health. You know, like I feel like the stigma of, I feel like a lot of people like have like mental health issues, or just going through something, whether or not be like a chronic mental health issue, like, you know, have gone through a rough time. Like maybe someone passed away in their family, maybe they're having issues at home, maybe, or maybe small things like they just need a vent because they had a really long day at school, and you know, teachers are being unreasonable with them, and they just need someone to talk to. And I feel like, in our estimation, that even though only among our generation, mental health has been more important, and mental health stigma is going, like therapy stigma is going down. I think it's still hard to come to like an adult counselor or whatever to talk about your issues. Like sometimes I feel like they're not receptive, and it's better just talk to like a friend than like, you know, like a professionally trained person. So our goal was Weekend Hear You was kind of start that mission like virtually. They kind of have like people like come talk to us like as like fellow high schoolers, talking about what they're going through, talk to them, and then try to eventually scope it out to like connecting with each other. I don't know. I feel like it's a good mission. Might return the idea eventually. Yeah, because even at Penn, like it's even now you brought it back up. Even at Penn, I'm noticing the same thing, where we as Penn, I've gotten a lot better as like with mental health, with Penn Wellness, Attacking Penn Face, all these like programs try to help the students like talk about mental health, be better at mental health and overall wellness. But also there's still like things where people like don't want to go to like CAPS, which if people don't know, it's like the counseling and psychological services.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, it's like supposed to like free like therapists or professionally trained psychologists who people can talk to at Penn. But like between like stigma about going to CAPS and stigma about the quality of CAPS, some people have viewed that CAPS has not been very like good, like not like the best help. Like people are reluctant to go to these resources. So like again, I think we might return this idea of like what's a better, like how can we make like peer-to-peer therapy, peer-to-peer wellness better at like a place like in a big school.
And I feel like you said, the importance of mental health has definitely like been increasing. But I think two things, I wanted to make two comments because I think a really good point that you brought up is that you can create resources and have people who are, you know, trained in the field of like, you know, counseling and stuff like that. But if I don't trust you, I don't trust you. You know what I mean? And it takes time to build that trust. So it's hard for you to tell someone who's like 18 to 21 that they should inherently trust someone just because they're in a position of leadership when they haven't spent time with someone to actually like develop that sense of like trust and, you know, the willingness to be forthcoming about stuff like that. And then on top of that, I feel like the mental health movement, it started, I feel like it started kind of like a few years ago where it became less, there was less of a stigma surrounding talk about mental health. But for a lot of people, you know, our age, like who were, you know, coming up as like when we were younger, that wasn't really there. So it's just kind of like, oh, if you feel that type of way, you're soft and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there might also be, for some people, it might also be like an inherent unwillingness to talk about that stuff because like that's not the way they grew up and stuff like that. You know? Definitely,
especially like within like, especially with like minority communities, like that. There's like a hard like not anti-mental health awareness like mindset where, like, as you mentioned, like, maybe if you are suffering from things like depression, or maybe you have like anxiety and stuff, you viewed as soft, or you viewed as like being ungrateful even of like the opportunities you had, because like you might have like an uncle or an auntie or a parent be like, these kids these days are worrying about XYZ small things, but we sacrifice so much to come to this country, or we sacrifice so much to like put food on the table. Or it feels like sometimes like in households like that, mental health is like not only not valued, but also not even talked about whatsoever. So
yeah, it could definitely be. It's definitely worth being like a more important player in terms of like conversations and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree with that. But moving away from that, we mentioned in your intro that you done a little bit of track and field, and shot put. Apparently, senior year you were top 200 in the state. So not only were you nice in the classroom.
Oh, I was?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Okay. You were like, I think 167 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you were nice like that off outside of the classroom. You were.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's actually one thing I'm tight about COVID, because I was actually seeing you're actually starting to get slightly good at track. Like, so talking about my high school sports endeavor, freshman year I did cross country, was terrible. Sophomore year, didn't really do a sport. Junior year, I fell into track. And my older brother, he did shot put and discus. And I was like, well, I know I don't like running, so I wonder if I can do shot put and discus, see what happens. And it went really well. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the team. Fell in love with the throwing community there. We had a really young coach. She was like a recent graduate, and she did shot put when she was like at my high school.
Glenelg.
What?
Glenelg.
You don't pronounce the last G.
Oh, for real?
It's Glenelg.
Really?
It's Glenelg.
Oh, wow.
It's Glenelg. It's crazy.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's crazy. It's crazy.
But yeah, and yeah, we really focused on technique. I think one thing that really let me shine was in the winter season, we have this trip to New York where like they bring people over to the Armory in New York. It's like the New York Hispanic Games or something like that. And they usually can bring like the top like X amount of people on the team, because there's only limited spots. And as a thrower, because it was my first season. Actually, that was like my third week of fourth week of like being in shot put. Of course, like the two people that had been there before were better than me, so I like wasn't originally be invited. But then there was one kid who he threw more with muscle than with technique. So he tore his shoulder actually.
Oh, whoa.
So I ended up going to New York, and that was a growth experience, competing like a big stage, like a big event, seeing people. And I just ended up falling in love with the sport, getting good. I felt like senior, as you mentioned, I was in 167 the sport in the state for senior year, and I feel like end of senior year I was starting to get into my groove. Like I started like treating my body better, working on my flexibility more, and also trying to understand like how to propel speeds. Like my proudest moment as a track athlete, besides getting sixth place in regionals for discus.
Oh wow!
You missed that. That was junior year. But was in the regional finals for shot put. I was finally good enough where I could take my wrist.
Wait.
So a lot of shot put. You have the shot like in your hand, right? And you're pushing it, and it's gonna be a lot of force traveling down your forearm. And your shoulder and stuff, and you see a lot of the huge guys, like the big guys, are really good at sport. Like put some like tape, some gauze on their wrist to keep it stable, to stop all the force going through this pretty weak part of your body and like shattering stuff. Before that, I never put wrist on because I like never like needed it. But then I noticed like, I'm starting to hurt. And one of the guys there was like, it's hurt because you're throwing far enough so you can like actually damage some parts. So you should put some tape on your wrist. Okay. Another Friday, I felt like a real shot put player. And I was like, whoa. So,
let me just put that on real quick.
I was saying, that was a really good season. That's why I'm so unfortunate that senior sprain never happened, because I felt like I was unlocking a new part of my shot put career at the time. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, you said you're getting to your groove a little bit. I mean, Top 200 in the States sounds like a little bit more than getting to your groove. But
I think like there's always like levels of like learning. Like I feel like as I was getting better, I started understanding more and more why my bad throws weren't being bad, and why my good throws being good. I started being more consistent. I started finding out how to warm up my body better. Just like small things, because you know, shot put's a game of centimeters. You know, well, high school inches because use of tape. It's quarter inches. It's a game of quarter inches, right? Yeah. And I guess just like getting more in tune with my body, and how to be more consistent throwing was just as I was just starting to understand near the end of my winter season. So it's what it is, but we'll never know how good it could have been. But hey, proud of that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And in high school, you're also voted as the loudest / most outgoing. Like,
oh my god, this man does his research. What?
Yeah, I had to, man. And we had the president on the podcast. You thought I was going to research the president? Okay. Come on, man.
That's wild. I was voted most outgoing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all, bro. I'm telling you, it's just like it's not even possible. Like I know I've already said this so many times in this podcast, but it's like you're literally everywhere, like doing something constantly. Like it's so impressive to me. I don't know how you do that, but yeah, it's just some people just have talent.
You know, it happens. I think one thing that people don't realize is that sometimes, like, as much as I like being everywhere, I also like being at home sometimes by myself. I don't know, like, why, but sometimes there's like peace in just like being at home, chilling, talking to nobody, and I think that lets me recharge. I feel like I get recharged both ways. Like, not quite fully extrovert, but also like definitely not like a pure introvert either. I was like mainly extroverted, but like I like being by myself sometimes and just chilling. But yeah, going back to high school. Oh, I remember I was actually mad that day.
Oh, really?
When the awards came out, actually. I remember because the awards ceremony came out, and like my friend, it was like me and my friend Tony were talking about it because like this is like in COVID and stuff, and I was looking at these things and I saw it's most outgoing. I was like, okay, sure, and then I was like, okay, there's like the most likely to be president thing, and like usually I'm not tight about things, but I saw that and I was so tight for like 30 minutes, and then I was like, you know what, this stuff does not matter. But yeah, I remember being so mad for like 25 minutes and then like being like, yeah, it's whatever, maths would go and still chill.
I mean, hey, you showed them. Look at you. Class president, literally. You can stunt on them now.
You know what I'm saying, twin? Yeah, but that's only up from here, though. Job's not finished.
Yeah, job's not finished.
Yeah.
Shout out Kobe.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Bro, we actually are really like 20 minutes away from his high school.
Oh, for real? Lower Marion's 20 minutes away from here?
Or like, I don't know exactly how far it is, but like Lower Marion, we're in Philadelphia.
Yeah. We could SEPTA there.
We could SEPTA to.
She took SEPTA to my block. She said, Uzi, can you buzz me?
No, yeah. Man, rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. So I want to transition to the Oluswole Bowl. And it's the part of the podcast where we ask you some off-the-cuff questions.
Okay.
Yeah, they might be somewhat related to what we were talking about. They might be kind of related to what we were talking about, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, so firstly, you're from the DMV, shout out Howard County.
Yeah.
Who are your top 3 DMV rappers?
Okay, so this is going to be really bad look. Nah. But I am really bad at following music.
Okay.
Like, really bad at following music.
Okay. That's cool.
Like actually, like, really. See, this is my strengths and weaknesses, right? So, I'm like really bad at following music. Like sometimes, like my play, I listen to the same songs from like for years. Like really bad. Like I can't even tell you who my top 3 DMV rappers are right now. I'm serious, but I will give some shout out to my guy Chris 4K, up and coming DMV rapper.
Okay.
And so that's like a local artist that's like performing. But in terms of my top 3, I couldn't tell you really. I'm actually serious, like really bad, like really out of tune to music sometimes, and that's one great thing about having roommates. They put me on the music all the time.
Okay.
So I'm like every time I'm like, dang, what was that song? And I'll be like going to my Spotify playlist and like it, but really bad at funk music. So
okay,
I need to get in tune with the scene. So
okay, I see. I was surprised because like you said, based on your roommates,
no, they're all music heads.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought you'd be a music head too.
No, I need to become a music head. That's actually really embarrassing. That was actually really embarrassing.
Nah, that's good. You good. But I mean, personally, I think I said this in the podcast with Aaron because he's from the DMV, but I like Corday. I think he's fire. Yeah. I think he's from Maryland, I think. Yeah. But yeah, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
What's my favorite conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's the crazy question. I didn't think there's actually good conspiracy theories that could actually be true. Favorite as in like, I believe it, or favorite as in like just like funniest to talk about?
Like the funniest one, the one, or the one you find the most interesting.
Shoot. This is off the cuff questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
Actually, like a few conspiracy theories about like SpongeBob. I think people have heard about like those things represent like the 7 deadly sins, like each character.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And all those things. And actually, my roommate Brian put me onto this one like YouTuber who actually has like real in depth like SpongeBob conspiracy theories. He actually like one of the things he did was debunk the fact that Bikini Bottom is like was caused. I think because some of the newer episodes like Bikini Bottom was like it's messed up because of like the nuclear testing that people did in Bikini Atoll. So back in the preparing for World War II or Cold War or something, the United States was of course detonating nuclear bombs to test ranges. They punched holes in like Nevada and like other like barren places that like to like test out the nuclear weapons. And one of the places was Bikini Atoll, which is like a place in the Pacific. And there's this big conspiracy theory that like because of that and like how SpongeBob's called Bikini Bottom, that like the radiation from that like messed up the people, like they messed up the fish down there, and that's why like SpongeBob's like all everyone's SpongeBob's like talking like intelligent fish and whatever. But also there's like a video that kind of like low key debunked that, but also made it into even bigger, crazier conspiracy theory. And I was like, what am I watching right now?
Yo,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah,
SpongeBob is probably one of my favorite cartoons. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's so many. There's literally a SpongeBob meme for every single scenario. It's crazy.
Top 3 cartoons right now.
Top 3 cartoons
of all time.
Of all time. Ooh, that's tough. Because the thing is, I watched a lot more cartoons. I watched a lot more shows when I was a kid, like before age 10. But if you ask me, based on what I've seen strictly, or like just in general,
your top 3.
My top 3. So my personal top 3 based on what I've seen. Number 3. That's tough. Number 2. I'm thinking of Cartoon Network shows. I'm thinking about Nickelodeon shows. I think number 1 has to be SpongeBob. I feel like it's just so
just so classic.
It's classic,
timeless.
It is timeless. Like I can watch SpongeBob now as a 19-year-old and still laugh.
Yeah,
it's like it's just like such a funny show.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah. Number 2, maybe the Flintstones.
Ooh, throwback. Okay.
Yeah, a bit of a throwback. I like that. There's a certain nostalgia that I associate with that TV show for some reason. Number 3, actually no, Flintstones number 3. But number 2, I would put Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, 70 years, no words, always on site.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how much you're able to like. Yeah, we're literally watching a show with no words, and like it's one of the greatest shows
of all time.
Yeah. It's crazy. Are they still making episodes or no?
Bro, I can't tell you, bro. But they on site.
Yeah. For real.
70 words, 70 years, no words, all action.
That's crazy. And it's actually a good thing because you don't have to worry about finding voice actors once the old ones pass away or retire.
Yeah, you need someone to scream every once in a while when someone gets hit.
Yeah. Or like someone to voice the old lady, like some lady, like where you can't see their face.
No, that's the Peanut, Snoopy Doo, and the what was it, Peanuts. What's the
Peanuts was like Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie
Peanuts.
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Peanuts too.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of Peanuts, but Peanuts is probably like my top 5, maybe. Top five.
No,
Yeah. And lastly, what's your most controversial opinion?
My most controversial opinion.
Yeah.
Cake is trash.
Whoa, dude, slow down, man.
It's like people think it's like people like come to like a birthday party, like, oh my god, cake's amazing. To go to like the dining hall, like, oh my god, cake's great. Cake's not good, people. Like, it takes. Oh, okay. Let me rephrase. Cake, right? On average, is one of the worst desserts. On average, like, don't get me wrong. A really good cake is a really good cake. A really good anything is a really good anything, right? So, like, if you have like a moist, perfect cake that, like, I don't know, like, not Gordon Ramsay because he's a chef, but like, that someone like made, then yeah, of course it's gonna be amazing. It's a perfect cake, right? We're talking about like the average cake you pick up, dry, chunks of like random sweetness, trash. Chocolate chip cookie, washing it. Ice cream, washing it.
Ice cream, yes, but chocolate chip cookie, no. Ice cream and cake, like combo.
Toll House, chocolate chip cookie, versus dining hall cake.
Wait, I haven't had Toll House.
Like a Toll House chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, or dining hall cake,
or like,
but like dining hall food is like
fun. A Toll House chocolate chip cookie, or like the best cake you've had at a birthday party.
Best cake. For sure.
He's capping.
You get so much like more texture and like the icing. I'm a sucker for icing. So like the icing and the cake itself, if it's made well and it's soft and it has good texture, it's great.
Keyword I say if it's made well. I'm saying like on average, cake's trash.
That's a flaming hot take, man.
That's a flaming hot take. Don't get me wrong. There's good cakes. There's good types of cake. Cheesecake's amazing. Yeah. Right? Red velvet cake, I mean that's just chocolate cake with just dyed red.
I like red velvet,
but red velvet's solid. Cupcakes are great. Cupcakes usually are more moist than cakes. Usually,
really.
Well, for the average person to cook, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought it was the other way around, but I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert either.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm looking straight at the camera too.
Yeah, you heard him.
Cake.
Flaming hot take right here. He's not playing games, man. When the president talks, you listen. All right, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on the pod. That wraps up today's episode.
No problem. Yeah. Episode 26, we out.
Yes, sir. Oluswole is available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on TikTok.
Are we on TikTok now?
We're on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, Renegade, you know, all of that. Insert dance here.
No play.
Thank you guys for listening, and peace.
Peace.